I'm very glad to be here, and it's a wonderful time, wonderful place, wonderful people to meet. My name is Imad Ali Khan. I'm from Mecca, and I'm a dentist. Graduated from King Abdulaziz University here in Jeddah, and was hired as a demonstrator, and then got scholarship to finish my graduate study and specialty training in the U.S. Went to University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I spent 8 years over there, and I got the pleasure to meet Brother Ibrahim Sadiq over there. And I just came back 2 years ago. I've been here for 2 years. Uh, so, my interaction, my living in the US was a very, very important and very great experience for me. Um, and I like to share some of the happiness and some of the knowledge that I have with my brothers here. Um, Brother Dr. Yasser mentioned this to me and invited me, and I was very surprised and very happy to accept it and be here, alhamdulillah. My talk is about happiness in Islam, and you can talk about happiness from several point of views or from several aspects. In Arabic, we say farha or farah, and also there are several terms that talk about the same thing or close to it, which is like sa'ada, hubur. There are some other words, but farah, or the root faraha, was mentioned in the Quran about 22 times or something. And it is a little bit of different than tuma'nina, which is the internal peace or tranquility. And it's different from sa'ada, which is the ultimate success, najah, and sa'ada, the falah, the end of it. You achieve the sa'ada after several stages. Farah, or happiness, or rejoice, or enjoyment, or entertainment, or whatever you want to call it, is like a temporary period of yourself being in a good time. You enjoy a period of enjoyment. But also it's not from the inside. It will be expressed like smiling, like running body movement, saying something, and all of these are farah, or happiness, or rejoice. In Quran, when you look at the verses that talk about farah, you see what seems to be contradicting to the one who reads it, but it's not contradicting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. In Surah Yunus, say, let them rejoice in the bounty of Allah and His mercy. It is better than what they collect and gather. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking us to rejoice, to be happy. In another verse, when Qarun, you know Qarun? Qarun is one of the rich, or the richest person we know maybe, at the time of Musa alayhi salam. And he was so rich that his treasures was in boxes and locks and safes, that the keys of those boxes you cannot hold. A group of persons cannot hold them, cannot lift them, the keys. So he was very, very rich, and he was so arrogant, and he was very happy. He enjoyed his life so much with arrogance and signs of happiness. And in that story, his people, his righteous people, said to them, إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. Don't be that happy. Allah does not like the happy people. This is the literal translation. So how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to be happy and then He does not like those who are happy? Here we have to explain what is the good happiness, the recommended happiness in Islam, and what is the bad part of. And in this talk, we're talking about happiness, and in every talk, every character or every behavior, everything has two extremes. Two extremes that are bad and one in the middle that is recommended. So in the happiness, there are also two extremes. One is the extreme, which is the extreme happiness, which is the to level of the arrogance, and the other one is very, desperate, very sad, very, is about to die. The person would just stop living. He is almost walking dead person. So those are the two extremes. In the middle path, which is recommended for the believers, is the actual talk of today. What is the happiness that we have to be in? We have to express. Be happy, okay? How should I be happy? And the explanation of this verse is the summary of this. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ. With the bounty of Allah and His mercy. And now we are trying to enjoy and celebrate Eid. We have two Eid, as you know, right? In Islam we have two Eid. One is Eid al-Fitr, and the other one is Eid al-Adha. And if you study those two, or if you think about those two, you find that everyone comes after an important season for the believers. It's like a period of a training period for the believers. After Ramadan, 30 days of fasting and praying, qiyam, and reading, reciting Quran, and doing all kind of good deeds, spending in i'tikaf and connecting with families, and doing all of this. After that comes Eid al-Fitr. Time to rejoice, time to be happy, time to celebrate this great bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this great mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He bestowed upon us. This is one Eid. The other Eid, which is Eid al-Adha, after the great season of pilgrimage, after you do this pilgrimage, you come like a newborn, clean, pure, nothing. Very clean records. So now it's time to rejoice. Now it's time to express this happiness with what? With the mercy of Allah, with the bounty of Allah, with what comes from the heaven, not with the life, not with the materials, the materialistic life, the things that we are attached to in this life. An example of that is